Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of selections from Iliad Book 2, and I've got up to line 333 in the previous recording. So I've just finished the speech of Odysseus, and now Nestor comes in and speaks, rather firmly in fact. Hosephat, thus he spoke, but the Argives, Iakon, this is imperfect from iako, to cry out, and the mega is adverbial. So they began to cry out greatly. The amphi is again adverbial here, it's sort of all around. The naes, the ships, and the verb here is from konabio, which has the sense of to rattle. Probably here reverberate might be good here. So they reverberated. Smerdalion is an adverb, terribly. Hoop from the Argives. Ausanto. Now the verb here is auo, if you're looking it up. Auo is simply to cry out, to make a loud noise. So from the Achaeans, making a loud noise, as they them having praised from apainio the word of divine Odysseus. So they liked what they heard, and now we get the usual expression here. Hippota is a nominative, as I mentioned before. So the Geranian horseman Nestor then replied toisi to them. O popoi. Well, it's always hard to know how to translate this. It's generally an expression used of surprise or anger. So you could translate it as something like, now look here. Ade paisini eoikotes agora asti nepi akois. So the main verb is here. It's from agora amai. Generally only get this form at the end of a line. It fits the meter nicely, I think. So it's you are speaking publicly, so you are speaking in the assembly like to children who are nepi akois, like to childish children. And the day is in fact, and the a is surely. So surely in fact you are speaking in public like childish children. Hois, for whom uti mele polemeia erga, there is no concern at all for the works of war. So you are speaking like children who have no concern for the works of war. Now, pede synthesiae. So this noun here, it's from synthesia, that's the first declension. So it's it's from sun plus tithania, it means to have an agreement. So agreements here. So where then are the agreements, or literally the agreements and the oaths? Where basetai will they, literally will they go, future from bino, heimin for us. So he's really saying here what will become of all our agreements and our oaths. So where will they go? In puride, into the fire indeed. Now genoi ato, that's the ato for nto, again third person plural, from gignabai, and this is an optative here. So the councils and the Medea, this is the plans of men, they would go, literally they would be in the fire. So they would all go into the fire, in fact. And then continues on in this same vein, the spondai akretoi, the unmixed or the pure. There's a variant reading here. I think it's akretoi. I have another text, but so the akretoi this here must be from the spondi. These are the treaties or truces. Perhaps this is unfulfilled. So they would become unfulfilled if we read akretoi here, and dexii, and our well, this is agreements made with the right hand. So pledges, perhaps it's to do with shaking of the right hand. So pledges, heis, in which epipithmen, in which we have had trusted. This is actually a pluperfect from patho. You can see the pith, it's been apocrypated here as well. See the pith root from patho. I think it's a pluperfect here from patho, in which we had trusted. Autos, for vainly do we strive with words. So in vain do we argue, do we strive with words. U timekos, nor dunamesta, are we able, huremenai, this is an aorist infinitive, to find or to discover, tip mekos, any remedy, any solution. Mekos is a general word for a remedy. Being here for such a long time. So although we've been here for such a long time, we're not able to find any remedy. Now he then addresses Agamemnon fairly strongly, in fact. Atreide, son of Atreus, you still hos prin as before, echon having astemphia, adjective from astemphes, a third declension adjective, meaning literally fixed or unmovable, so unyielding or persistent. Boule, counsel. So you as before, having your unyielding counsel, and we have an imperative then. Just get this. Arque, so rule the Argives in the strong. Hosmines means battles or skirmishes, in the strong battles or skirmishes, but ia, literally allow these ones, phthinu phthane, this is a stronger form from, you get phtheno to perish, this is just another lengthened form of this. Allow those ones to perish, one or two of them, they who would plot or make plans or take counsel, nosvin, separately from the Achaeans, away from the Achaeans. And then we get anakaluthon here, we get a little, and the editors put a little lines in here to tell us it's a separate little bit. For there will not be anusis, well, fulfillment, the verb is this verb anuo, to fulfill. There will not be fulfillment, outone, well, either from them, that is the ones who are taking counsel apart from the Achaeans, or perhaps from these things. It's not clear whether it's who it's referring to here. Now we get prin and prin. So the first prin, when you get two prins, the first one you don't translate. So they take, and it's after this, they take counsel apart from the Achaeans to go to Argos, prin before, and then with an infinitive, gnomenai, from gignosko, before we know so if the hyposgesis, you get hupis gneomai to promise, so if the promise of adjus bearing Zeus is pseudos, is false, and we get to te, or if it is not. Fami gaun, for I say, it's almost I remind you then, so for I say, or I remind you almost, that the very mighty son of Kronos, kerannumi. This is an infinitive here. It's almost he agreed, he nodded in agreement. It's almost promised here, almost gave us his pledge. On the day when the Argives went or got into, this is that verb, it's normally katabino, but here just bare bino. So on the day when the Argives got on board their swift-going ships, bringing murder and death, troesi, to the Trojans. And he did it by, now astraptone should technically be in the accusative because it's agreeing back with chroniona, and it's several lines back, and so he's put it into the nominative here because it's so far removed from here. So it's by flashing lightning, epidexia, literally on the right side, so favourably. So sending favourable lightning and showing enisima semata, favourable or fateful signs. Signs in accordance with fate. Tome tis, therefore, now we get may plus the imperative here. This is from epego, to hasten. So let no one, and again we get two prins. When you get the two prins in Homer, you translate the first and translate the second but not the first. So therefore let no one hasten to return home, prin, before, and this is very strong here, before literally a certain one of them, so we would just say before one of them, sleeps beside the wife of Trojans. So the para here I think goes with the aloko. So sleeps beside the wife of a Trojan. In other words, before he's raped one of the wives of the Trojans. Very strong language here. Te sastai, having gotten avenge, what's an infinitive here? Oh, sorry, this is no, it must be it's astai. Having avenged or gotten vengeance for the hormemata, the struggles, and the stonakas, the lamentations. Now, Helenes here, it could just mean of Helen. Others take it as referring to the struggles of the Greeks in recovering Helen, and so would translate it as to have gotten revenge for the struggles and lamentations involved with getting Helen. Aidetis, but if someone might wish, ekpaglo, might terribly wish, might wish terribly to go home, haptesto, it's almost just let him touch, just let him lay his hand on his ship. This is haste, it's that personal adjective, on his ship which is well benched and black. Ofra, so that, now pros the alone, I think the sense here is that in front of everyone else, episte, this is from F hepo, he may, it's an aorist subjunctive here from F hepo, if you're looking it up, so that he may meet with or encounter death and fate in front of everyone else. So he's threatening here, even put your hand on the ship and right in front of everyone else you will meet your death and fate. So it's quite a threat here. Allah, but, or perhaps come here, Allah towards the beginning of a line often is best translated as just come. So come Lord, you yourself, Madeo, take good counsel. And patheo, this is the, again, imperative, its middle would be peithu in Attic, and it takes a dative, so it's be probably sorry no yeah, obey, yeah, so obey another, so hearken to another. So but you come, Lord, you yourself take good counsel and hearken to someone else, obey someone else. And the word hoti ken aper, whatever I might say, will not in fact be apobleton, will not be thrown away. For the word, whatever I would speak, will not indeed apobleton, we can see the roots there, apo and balon, not be thrown away. Now he then tells him to, kreen is an imperative here, which means to separate, and that apparently was the original meaning of krino. Later on we learn it mean to judge, but here it's got that imperative, that sense of the original meaning of separate the men, kataphula, by tribes and by clans, O Agamemnon, vocative here. Exactly what these phula and akretoi are, you need to look up the commentaries on this. I'm just going to translate them as by tribes and by clans, so that clan, now this is from arego, to assist or give aid to, so that clan might give aid to clan and tribe to tribe, or tribes to tribes, they're plural here of course. Interesting, we get a nice chiasmus here again. Homer likes doing this, so you get phula first and then fretras, and then you get the fretre and you get the phula on the next line, reverse order. If you, now this is from, note the breathing here too, it's rather odd. This is from erdo, a verb meaning to do or make. This is an aorist subjunctive, so if you would act thus, and the Achaeans would obey, you will know then who, now we get two partitive genitives here, who among your leaders is understood, kakos is a coward, and who among your people, that is amongst the rest of the fighters, the host. So you will then know who amongst your leaders is a coward, and who amongst your people is a coward, and who might be, subjunctive from the verb to be, eslos, brave or something here for eslos. It's the opposite of kakos here. Katasphios garmakiontai, for they will fight. Katasphios, I think it means something like in their own divisions, rather than individually, but in groups. And gnosii, again, future from gignosko, and you will know whether, I think here, you will not destroy, this verb is alapazdo, occurs a fair bit in Homer, alapazdo, to destroy or overpower, the city. There's pesiai, by a divine will or by divine intervention. So you will know whether you will not destroy the city by divine intervention, or whether it's by the cowardice of the men and their aphradia polemoia and their stupidity in war. Not the stupidity, I think, of war, but which it is stupid, but the stupidity in battle or in war. So he tells him to split them up into these groups, so that you will know whether you will. It's sort of whether or not with the a kai uk. In English, it'd be better to say whether or not you will destroy the city by because of divine intervention. So whether or not you'll destroy the city by divine intervention, or because of the cowardice of your men and their stupidity in battle. And that is the end of that section of Book 2.